NBT World, a vision of Thailand.
When we talk about MICE Hub, I think, like I said, every city has its own, is a living canvas, and therefore it is our role, or TCEP role, to make sure that each city become a destination of its kind, because each carries uniqueness and also can really provide a different or distinctive experience to MICE travelers.
Swadee Ka, welcome to Thailand today. I'm Hani Cholapansa Narula. It's a pleasure to be here with you. The MICE sector plays a vital part in supporting sustainable growth across the country. Today I'll be exploring the domestic MICE market to explore the recent developments, strategic plans, and also how Thailand is supporting this industry to thrive amidst emerging opportunities and challenges. We're very honored to be joined by the Senior Vice President of Thailand Convention and Exhibition Bureau, or TCEP, Kun Nichapha Yoswi. Swadee Ka.
Swadee Ka.
Kun Nichapha, thank you very much for joining us today.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you for coming.
Domestic MICE or DMICE remains a strong segment. So let's begin with the current landscape. Could you tell us a bit about the current outlook of DMICE in terms of the statistics of MICE travelers and also the revenue generated? How happy are you with the results?
Well, I think domestic MICE has always been and now become a rising star in terms of revenue generation, the GDP to the country. When we talk about the number, right now when we compare to the same period last year, domestic MICE travelers is accounted around 12.6 million travelers comparing to the same period last year, which is 20 times higher than international MICE travelers. Now, the growth, however, is only around 2.6% comparing to the same period last year. And even though the number of growth may seem marginal or seem too small, but I think comparing to the current situation, the growth is still on against the backdrop of global uncertainties. And I believe that this is a very good step, or at least indicator, not only that we are doing pretty well, judging from the current situation, but it also suggests future expansion, and therefore there are more rooms to grow. Within that growth, 2.6% growth, exhibition is accounted for 90%, which means of two areas. First, exhibition plays a very good role in terms of generate economic impact into the city, and there are more rooms for meetings, incentives, and conventions, and that would be the area of focus for the second half of the year.
So in order to drive MICE demand, it would require long-term vision. I believe yourself, TCEP, as the Chief of Strategy, you had unveiled a 3-year action plan.
Yeah.
Could you share with us some of those plans, and how would it spur the domestic events industry, especially the MINC?
Yeah, well, I believe that our 3-year plan is very simple, but it is very powerful. We are encouraging longer stays. We also try to boost spending from all travelers, international and domestic. And also we would love to invite repeated visits. In doing so, we have to strengthen the domestic ecosystem, MICE ecosystem, meaning we have to make sure that all facilitations are in place, venues, logistics, experience especially, because right now we are working in the experience economy. And therefore, in order to do that, we have to make sure that we take all into account what would be the key drivers that would make decisions, that would facilitate decisions from the travelers, not only domestic but also international. And therefore, we are launching a new model, which we call new MICE model. I would include festivalization and personalization into the equation. In the past, when we organize exhibition, it would be a very straightforward exhibition, trade B2B or B2C, but right now everybody is craving for experience, and therefore in all MICE events we need to have festival concept and also something that they can remember, and somehow something that is rewarding to them, that they yearn to come back again when the events come back in the future. Now, to do that, for example, if we have one corporate meetings, of course, corporate meetings can be a primary activities, but there must be the program that cover incentives, convene the local, domestic or area community, and somehow promote some spending between them. And through this, we can really make use of the whole MICE concept, adding some more fun. And of course, promote economic distribution and contribution, not only in the city that the event is taking place, but also the surrounding cities.
So this will certainly strengthen the MICE ecosystem.
Yeah.
Is it especially in the 10 designated MICE cities mostly?
No. Even though my city has a better, I would say is better equipped with the infrastructure, but I believe that each city is a living canvas of their own culture, nature, heritage, and of course economic opportunities. And therefore it is a role of TCEP not only to promote or put a spotlight into or just my city, but we need to round in the surrounding cities so that economic distribution, the experience can be enhanced in such a way that it serves the 3S, stay longer, spend more, and revisit. So another concept that we launched is we call city cluster concept.
City cluster.
Yeah. In the past, everything would happen and end in one event, in one specific area in the city. But right now we are spreading expanding the experience for one event to cover at least 3 cities. Of course, the MICE city, the satellite city, and the ring city. For example, if we have a running event, the track can be through ring city. Activities, CSR activities can be done in satellite city. The logistics can be in the MICE city. And therefore, the experience of the travelers can be enhanced, the economic can be expanded, and the knowledge of MICE as a tool to promote the union of the local government and also its people, and also the working as one team can be expanded. And therefore, the cluster can really help foster not only collaborations, but also enhance the economic opportunities.
So these will be some of your main strategies and directions in the next 3 years.
Yes.
From now till 2027.
Yes.
Let me put the spotlight back on the 10 MICE cities, because that is still where the opportunities are rich, I would say. Can you tell us how these cities have leveraged their unique strengths in the past to attract MICE events and stimulate local economies?
I think what we are helping them is that since they have a better equipped in terms of infrastructure and such, we have regional office model where we put a lot of people or staff to work closely with the city, and we form my city committee chaired by city governor, and we invite all the private sectors and also government officers together as one. And then we would work with the Ministry of Interior to highlight and to see which industry sectors that they are focusing. And then we bring that back on the table, talking to the city through MICE committee, and then identify which events that can serve the purpose. So we use mice as a tool to realize the objectives of the cities in terms of promoting specific industries, in terms of expanding connections, and also in terms of making those areas as a gateway or become the hub of specific or targeted industry by itself. And therefore, our people and staff would go into my city almost every day, talking to people, talking to the policymakers, talking to the industry and stakeholders on how we can bring those events into the city and how we can leverage once the events are there. Yeah? So we help them strategize, we help them pave the action plan, and we form a working team. So there must be a lot of working teams under one project, and that's okay, because each of the working teams, whenever we have any meeting, those are the learning curve from between TCEP and the local city government.
I see. So these cities basically contribute not only to the local infrastructure, organizing more events, but also promoting some of the local charms.
Yes.
Being a magnet, drawing in more interesting DMICE events. Now, as for plans to expand these cities, are there any plans to have like more than 10 cities in the near future?
Well, there are many candidate cities who would love to be recognized as my city, and I believe that they have all the very good reasons to do so. Now, it's about the timing and also the focus and readiness of the city. We cannot promote every city as my city. That would defeat the whole purpose. And that is why city cluster concept would help elevate and fasten that track. In case they really want to become my city, they get to learn from the actual my city what kind of collaborations, what kind of investment that they have to put in, what would be the required venues that they have to invest, and whether they are ready to do so. And it doesn't mean that not being my city would become less advantaged than the one that are known as my city, because like I said, each city has its own charm and economic opportunities, and it is the role of TCEP in highlighting and making become and realize those potential, even though they are not my cities.
Perhaps a project that you are running right now will help you discover something new and unique. That is the Uat Mueang or City Showcase project. What plans are being rolled out to enhance the potential of DMICE here?
I think เทศกาลอวดเมือง or showcasing or city showcase project is a gem in discovering and also as a tool to elevate the local gems through festival concept. Each city has its own festival, and each has put their heart and mind in making sure that the festivals are good ones and highly recognized ones. However, there are many repetitive elements especially in terms of culture in one area. For example, Isan would have their own Isan culture, and maybe the same culture get repeated in different cities, but it is the same. It's the same
region, you mean?
Yeah, in the region. Yeah. So I think เทศกาลอวดเมือง is a very good tool in terms of help the city to systematically uncover what is a true gem that maybe they oversee or it slipped their mind.
You mean like a hidden soft power?
Yeah.
Lying there somewhere?
Yes. And I believe that all cities has their own hidden soft power waiting to be uncovered. It is a nationwide project which is initiated by the festival subcommittee, and this festival subcommittee is the subcommittee under the National Soft Power Strategic Committee, and and this project is co-hosted by TECA and TCEP. The first program was launched this year, and we received 41 cities to pitch for the award, I would say. Sitting through 2 days of their presentation, I was amazed because these are the true hidden gems. Sometimes we only hear one specific name like Yi Peng, Loi Kratong, Songkran, but there are also some lovely element and unique element in each of the city that we have never been heard of. So what we would do next is that we would highlight all these cities in the Splash event, which is hosted by the Royal Thai government, highlighting all the soft power area. And we would include all these programs and projects under our flagship events for TCEP to further enhance, work together, train them, co-create with the city. End game of this เทศกาลอวดเมือง is that we need all these events to be IP events.
So the results will be announced at the Splash
in July.
In July. Let me take you to the City Summit in Samui.
Yes.
MICE hosted a really big summit down south, and it brought together stakeholders, experts from the field. Now, can you share with us the key outcomes and the challenges that were discussed there?
MICE City Summit, basically the whole objective of running MICE City Summit is to make sure that it serves as a platform for each MICE city to come together, learn, share, expand connection. And also use this opportunity for the MICE city themselves to go back to their community and let's say, hey, we are as MICE city, we need to do something better each year. We need to introduce something new each year. We need to come up with MICE, high-end MICE product and services so that it can be a proper destination for international events when they come in. And we have been running MICE City Summit for more than 10 years. Each year we would rotate among MICE cities. This year the event was in Samui, and the event was participated by more than 200 MICE professionals. We have MICE Bazaar. We opened space as a marketplace for local community to come and showcase the products and services. We have, this year we had more than 1,000 business matching between my suppliers and customers. And that can generate at least 80 million baht in terms of revenue to the cities and to the MICE suppliers. One thing that need to be done and has to be highlighted is there must be some special project or new project that serves as a result from MICE City Summit. And this year, I'm proud to say that we have Samui in one bite. It's basically the outcome from the collaboration between local community produce, that they can somehow elevate the local produce and make it as high-end coffee break into MICE venue in the city. And the program was launched in this MICE City in Samui, MICE City Summit in Samui. We have 5 communities showcase their local produce, and we have 5 MICE venue to come as the customer or buyers, telling the community to come up with the coffee break that goes according to the needs from those venues. And we end up having five new, fresh, local produced coffee break that from now will serve in 5 MICE venues. This is one of the projects that really serves as the tools to drive economy more into local or community. Basically, this is on a sustainability leg to create sustainability impact into the local.
Have there been any discussions on which could be the next potential MICE hub or a new MICE magnet?
When we talk about MICE hub, I think, like I said, every city has its own, is a living canvas, and therefore it is our role, or TCEP role, to make sure that each city become a destination of its kind, because each carries uniqueness and also can really provide a different or distinctive experience to MICE travelers. And therefore we will not building a double MICE hub, but we would create and collaborate with the city itself to create a distinctive MICE ecosystem to become a distinctive MICE destination. We are trying to push them to add more digital element or digital enable element into the facilities, so that all MICE events can really use those elements to create exceptional and personalized experience for each and every MICE travelers or attendees. And it needs time and investment to do so. However, the content generator, the way that we can use AI to help hype the experience in each event, it can be done right away. And therefore, the current MICE capabilities development has been taxed on this issue. They need to come up on top of the existing certified program, organizational certified program, the standards and the green guidebooks and standards and such. They need to come up with this AI thing or digital training program, not only to the current and existing MICE professional, but also the newcomers and also the future leaders. So we would include this in the university program, make it an upgrade MICE Academy. And not only in textbook, we are now looking into building a platform where future generation and the existing professional or leaderships can really come in and blend, not as senior and junior, but as one team.
There have been events like the TMX Thailand MICE Exchange that is to prepare future leaders of MICE. How are these programs running? Has it been successful?
It is a program that was run by Thailand Exhibition Association, and their focus is heavily on exhibition ecosystem. But the talent development program has all along been part of TCEP support scheme. We commissioned TICA, Thailand Incentive and Convention Association, and also Event Management Association, to put in this talent development program, especially future leaders, they would say. But in the past, they would teach them the value chain of MICE, but we need to add the digital part into the existing program.
Let me ask you about some of the measures in place to evaluate the success of the running initiatives.
Yeah.
Is there like a specific feedback mechanisms from stakeholders in order to make it even more authentic and to give a better experience for MICE travelers?
Yeah. Our partner, we have always been partnering with all the MICE associations, for example, TICA, TA, EMA, Hotel Association. We would ask for the feedback, and before we launch any strategic direction, we would ask for the insights. invite them as a working team, come up with a strategic plan, and use that platform to somehow see what kind of collaboration and what are the tasks that each can really take on in order to bring that piece of experts together and drive the plan moving forward as rapid as we can and as efficient as we can. But we need more partners. Right now, we extend our partnership into cities. We extend our partnership to university, to future leaders, and creative economy.
Since TCEP has been at the forefront of implementing sustainable practices, you've been promoting it. What are the efforts in order to make this happen in domestic events? The ones that are genuinely eco-conscious.
We put in several measures, but first, sustainability is no more an option. It is mandatory. It is a non-negotiable. And TCEP has been pioneering the green mines. On those days, we call it green mines, since 2011. We start with education, and then we encourage stakeholders to take on sustainability practice, and now we enforce the stakeholders to put into action or apply sustainability practices into all events that they run. The way that we encourage and enforce them is through education, standards, enforcement, and such. We are now launching a carbon neutral campaign. We have been launching carbon neutral campaign in the past, but only as a guidebook, as a guideline, and as a manual. But right now, we will heavily incentivize those events who are really carbon neutral. All events that TCEP support in 2030 will have to be carbon neutral, whether it is international events, whether it is domestic events. And from now until then, we would gradually route in collaborations from the city using เทศกาลอวดเมือง whatever campaign that we will launch from now on, and put sustainability as one of the registered criteria that all stakeholders must follow through. We provide ecosystem, and we would continue to provide knowledge and be the voice of sustainability for mines industry.
Let me end on the future trends.
Yeah.
The trends or behaviors that you think we need to watch for 2025 and beyond.
I think there are several trends. Mostly we have all those trends covered. We put sustainability into practices. Of course, there are room for improvement. We need to highlight on social impact. This would serve, again, as the next level of sustainability. When I say social impact, I mean all events would have to create something that would serve as the community-based collaboration and also as a springboard for community to grow by themselves. For example, in case that we bring in, let's say, sport events into the city should, by the end or even before, they should have their own sport club of that particular sport type, and then use sport to promote harmony as social tools to bring in all teenagers to promote inclusivity of the city. And we need to also be able to be more flexible and also open up with the new, how digital can really come up with a new trend. I think the people attending on site the number would be smaller.
More intimate?
More intimate. Good word. More intimate. And therefore, we need to come up or think about new revenue stream. In case that people do not travel, how we can really market mines or use mines to to become a tool not only to attract headcounts but attract values to the country.
Kunishapa, thank you very much for that insightful conversation. It's clear that Thailand's domestic MICE landscape is not only resilient, but it's also rich with opportunities. And that's all the time we have. Thank you so much today. And also we'd like to say goodbye to our viewers. We'll see you on the next episode of Thailand Today. From Kunishapa and myself, Honey, we'll see you again soon. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ